Here we are, it is NEBOSH NG1 exam day and you have just logged on for the first time onto the NEBOSH website right here. And what's the first thing you should do? Well, you should download the exam paper. So we've downloaded our exam paper, here it is. What do you do now? Panic? Ah! No, don't panic, that's not going to help you. First thing you should do is read the bloody exam paper. Now, what I like to do, I like to go straight to the questions. I want to see what questions they're expecting me to answer. So I scroll all the way down to the bottom here. Let's have a look, shall we? Comment on the organization's health and safety morals. 10 marks. Okay. For a health and safety management system to work properly, you need to have clear roles and responsibilities. Comment on the evidence from the scenario that will contribute to the effectiveness of the roles and responsibilities. I've got no freaking clue what that even really means, but I'm sure we can cobble together an answer which will get us some marks. It won't be a complete car crash. Culture. I love culture questions. Based on the scenario only, what are the indicators of health and safety culture in the organization? 20 marks. Seems really hard, but it's not. You're just going to go through the scenario and just highlight stuff. Just go, oh, there's one, there's one, there's one, there's one, and just copy it into your answer. It's easy. Why should lessons be learned from incidents? Other than a general improvement of health and safety, what specific reasons are there for this organisation to learn lessons from incidents? That's easy. I've got that in my course materials. So I can pretty much just, write that in. Risk assessment. The risk assessment, we've got two questions here. We've got part one. So we've got who might be affected. So I've got a comment on whether the risk assessment is suitable and sufficient in the who might be affected and the precautions are reasonable, the remaining risk is low. Okay, that sounds a bit tricky, but again, I'm sure we can cobble together something. Why should a permit to work be used to help manage this storage tank modification? So why do we use permits? I've got that in my course materials. So I'm pretty sure we can get some marks there. Based on the scenario only, discuss how effectively the contractors are being managed by the organisation during the modification. Okay, so I'm going to talk about what they're doing well with contractors, what they're not doing well with contractors. 10 marks. Pretty sure I could handle that. And what types of information should this review consider? All right, so we've got annual health and safety performance review. What should we consider? Well, that just needs a list, really. And I'm sure I've got a list in my course materials as to what should go into a review. And it also says we should support it with information from the scenario. So I think the scenario might have information in there as well. Now, why am I reading the questions? First of all, I want to reassure myself that it's not too difficult. I'm also rank ordering the questions in my head from easiest to hardest. So some of these questions are actually quite easy. The culture question is really easy. I'm going to answer that one first. I might answer the review question second, because I've probably got the answer in my course materials. And then I'll probably have a go at the morals one, which was near the top. So I'm going to start with the easiest ones to give myself a bit of a confidence boost. But the next thing you should do is read the scenario, and read the scenario very, very carefully. So the scenario starts here, it's about 2 pages long. Everything in this scenario has been put in there for a reason. Remember that. If there's a word in there, a sentence in there, it is there for a reason. It is there for you to use in one of the answers to your exam questions. So they don't just put stuff in there to distract you or catch you out or trick you. No, they're not like that. NEBOSH go through a very thorough process of writing a scenario and then taking out anything which isn't adding value or isn't useful to you in your exam. So read it carefully, and I recommend that you get a pen, and you might even want to print off several copies of this. So how many questions have we got? I would print off a copy for every question, nearly. Definitely I would print off one for the morals. I would print off one for this roles and responsibilities question. I would print off another one for the indicators. And basically what I will do for this indicators question, I will go through my prints, highlighting or underlining every indicator of culture that I can find. So that's the first thing you should do. Is read the exam paper, read the questions, read the scenario, print it off, read it again and again and again. Spend a good 20 minutes, maybe half an hour, reading through it until you properly grasp it. Anyway, hope you found that was useful. See you in another video.